Good morning. It is 5:21 a.m. September 6th, 2020. Hey, let's go do a SaddleSore 1000 today. Today's SaddleSore will take us from scenic Lacey, Washington to Chehalis, that's south. Then we're going to turn around and we're going to head back to Ferndale, Washington, just roughly about 3.5 hours from there. Then from Ferndale we will go back down to Seattle, hit I-405, and start heading east on I-90 and go almost all the way to the Washington-Idaho border. Turn around, and on the way back, we're going to head through Richland, hit a gas station down there, come back up through Yakima, Washington, and finally arrive back home tonight, probably around 10 o'clock, I'd imagine, back in Lacey. So, should be fun. Weather should be hot today. So we'll see how this all turns out, and you'll be along for the ride. So I have used this gas station that I'm going to here for both of the certificated rides I've done. By the way, I've only done 2 certificated rides. It's just not something I really got into. I know people like Greg Rice do them all the time, but for me it was mostly about doing things like the Big Money Rally and whatnot. Okay, starting mileage will be 14,750. Write down and take a picture. Alright, I think we're good to go. Receipt will go into receipt bag. Alright, campers, let's get this show on the road. You may be wondering why we're making this little jaunt down to Centralia for basically a round trip of 60 miles when you have to get gas, it costs time, etc., etc. Well, basically the reason for that is because if I wanted to do this all in state, I couldn't do it just by going up to the border in Blaine and then back to the Washington-Idaho border. I was a few miles short, and I really wanted to stay on freeway the entire time for this ride. On my SaddleSore, I did a bunch of 2-lane. It's not the greatest for time management, so we're coming up to Chamber Way here, exit 79, and we're going to stop at the Chevron station, get gas, because, I'm down to 5/6 of the tank, document the turnaround, and start heading north. Well, look kids, there's Big Ben. So we are coming back through Olympia. It's obviously light out now. And looking like we'll be in Ferndale at just after 9 o'clock. That should be good, because that puts us, what time is it now? 6:30? So that puts us going through Seattle about 7:30. Should be well before any traffic starts there. We will just blast up through Seattle, and they've got some reversible lanes that'll probably be going in our direction. But like I said, at 7:30 in the morning, there's not going to be, on a Sunday, not going to be a lot of traffic going into Seattle or out. Next gas stop will be probably actually the one in Ferndale. I think we can get there. 193 miles of range at this point and 151 miles to go, so that should be doable to get there. I may have to stop just a little bit sooner, but that'll be nice. The lovely city of Seattle. So far so good. Everything on the bike's working good. Still on track to get into Ferndale just before 9 o'clock. Should have plenty of gas to get there. Seattle, definitely one of the most beautiful cities in the summer. In the winter, see those clouds right there? Just imagine the whole sky filled with that for about 100 days straight. As my friend Andy once described it, it's like somebody put a gray washcloth over the city. One of the things that living on this side of the country is when you do one of these rides, you end up looking into the sun all morning and into the sun again all afternoon, because you're usually going east in the morning and west in the afternoon. Today, I don't think it'll be too bad, because with this north-south bit first, we won't be turning east until, 10 o'clock, really. The sun will be well up by then. We'll get hit in the afternoon pretty good, I'm sure. Sit rep, just north of Marysville, Washington. Nice, let's just put it this way, we're cruising along at a nice, comfortable pace. So I'm sure someone out there very concerned that I would be going the speed limit. Still on pace to get to Ferndale without having to do a gas stop in between. And this is coming into some of my old stomping grounds. I went to college up here, and I always love coming up here, and I really miss it. It's one of those places I would love to figure out a way to live up here again. coming up on a turn here. Sort of. I mean, basically, we're going to coming south on I-5 right now, and we're going to take I-405 down to I-90 and use that to go east to the Idaho-Washington border.
To exit right to exit 182 at 405 South, Bellevue, Renton.
On it. Alright, we are on I-90, heading east. Should be some of the more scenic parts of this trip. It's that I-90 for interstate, pretty nice going over Snoqualmie Pass. Definitely some better ways to go over the pass if you've got the time, but today we don't. The first time I did a SaddleSore, I took a long and winding path around the Olympic Peninsula. It was not the most wise move in the world because that path, a lot of two-lane road. I mean, it's Highway 101, so it's a primary route, but it's still a two-lane road for the first 300 miles. So for this one, I was going to stay on interstate the entire time and just see how much quicker I could do it. I seem to remember I left at like 4 in the morning and I got home at midnight or something. It was a long day. This one should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 hours. Like right now, I think I'd be home roughly at 9 o'clock after having left at 5:30. So we'll see how that works out. I'm guessing the next gas stop is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of Ellensburg. It is starting to get a little warm too. It's gotta be 85 or so now. I stopped a little while ago before that last gas stop. I stopped on the side of the road on an exit ramp and took off my heated gear because it was definitely getting warm. Keep with the hydration and should be good to go. Alright, coming up on the Columbia River here, roughly about halfway. Temperature is up to about 90. get home. And now I get to stare into the sun for the remainder of the ride. Alright, let's head to Pasco, Tri-Cities, specifically a gas station in Kennewick. 686 indicated on the bike. Pretty much just go, go, go. We have now left I-90. We are on US 395 towards the Tri-Cities. Alright, coming into Tri-Cities, Washington, specifically Pasco. We'll wave at Matt Watkins as we go by here. We'll stop and get gas over on the other side here. The question will be is, can I get home on just one more stop, on just this stop? I don't think I can. I think I'll have to stop and get fuel somewhere in Western Washington. That's probably not a bad thing either, because I'm sure I'll be ready to take a little break at that point. Well, according to that sign back there, it's 101 degrees. My thermometer only shows 96, but it's definitely warm. Last push to home. A long day. Movement is nice. Yeah, well, it's gonna be unlikely to get home without having to get gas again, because right now it's saying 207 miles on the range and 248 to home, so it'll be another short little gas run. Gas stop, no big deal. Oh, that feels nice. Then get moving again. 99 degrees. Yeah, it's like the hottest part of the day right here, right around 5 o'clock. Oh, wind feels nice. Oh, it's down to 98. Beautiful. Alright, I'm gonna go wind up my helmet. Not to you. So enjoy. Check in a little bit later. Definitely feel a little bit fatigued. Not too bad though. I can tell it's been a long day. Got about 180 miles to go. And for sure, not going to make it on gas. So we'll probably stop in North Bend. Oh. So this is where, at this point of this ride, you start thinking about, yeah, I could toss another 500 miles onto this. I'll tell you, about 200 miles past the 1,000 miles. We're about 1,200 miles. You really realize you're tired. Yeah, well, we'll definitely be making a stop in North Bend because, yeah, that headwind really did a number on my fuel economy. It's about 40 miles there, and I got 53 miles of range. A little bit of a headwind knocks down the old fuel mileage. But it's all good. Still on track for about an 8:30 arrival. Look at that view. It's like a painting. intersection. Can't say I'm upset that it's daylight going on Highway 18. It's more likely to be wildlife on that road than probably any of the others. Alright, well let's see how much space I got left on SD cards, because I've used up one camera. Getting ready to get back on I-5 to head south. Looking like we'll be arriving back at the start-finish location at about 8:15, barring traffic, so in very good time getting over the pass. Super glad to be finishing it in the daylight, that's for sure. Next stop, Lacey. And I dare say, successful ride. Thanks for watching this whole thing, if you made it all the way through. And I'm gonna go get something to eat, because I'm hungry.